What do you want, you rat?
Oh, Gumenasai, my loyal subjects. Sorry about that. You see, sometimes the lizards. I mean lizards. Sometimes the lizards get uppity. Look, don't you have a rice farm to tend to or something? A high school girl to harass?
Huh?
No? Oh, well then, I guess before I have you summarily executed for having such a dishonorable work ethic, it wouldn't hurt to regale you with a story about survival and horror in a franchise overshadowed by its forefathers. That's right, filthy gaijin. Today, we're diving into Onimusha Warlords, an old favorite of mine. It's something that Capcom shat out back when the whole samurai versus demon shtick was the hot new thing. It's pretty much Resident Evil with katanas instead of guns. And the original even had the same diabolical tank controls we've all come to know and love. Because who doesn't like playing co-op on top of having to avoid all those cozy undead struggle snuggles? Or while backtracking halfway through the game just to unlock one stupid door, only to have to then solve some stupid puzzle, which was designed by some rising sun sadist, intent on going kamikaze on my psyche with their thousand-folded bullshit. But a quick history lesson before we get to all that. Can't be preaching to an uneducated audience and all. Just, let me pull out my scroll here and... Oh shit, it's in Japanese. No, that's not a problem. I'm well versed in Nihongo. Hold on, let's see, I just need to... there we are. See? Easy peasy Japanesey. This bad boy dropped in 2001, sold like hotcakes, spawned a bunch of sequels, then Capcom forgot about it for decades. Fast forward to 2019, they've since dusted it off, slapped some HD paint on it, then threw it out on modern hardware as a remaster. Gameplay is your standard hack and slash affair. Swing swords, absorb demon souls, upgrade your shit. It was pretty novel at the time, believe it or not, but with some classic Resident Evil inspired puzzles and boss fights that will make you want to go Bankai on the damn camera. But overall, things have been pretty good for the Onimusha brand. Capcom released a remaster of the second game, Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny, and there was a decent Netflix series sometime back. And most recently, they've even announced a new game in the works, Onimusha Way of the Sword, due sometime in 2026. But enough foreplay. Let's get you caught up to speed. The first game is short enough it can be completed in a couple of hours, so I'll do you a favor and give you the broad strokes so you can go ahead and skip to the sequel and be ready for the new stuff when it comes out. Spoilers ahead, obviously. Don't say I didn't warn you. Prepare the theater, it's time for some kooky kabuki.
What?
So, we kick off with the Battle of Okihizama, where everybody's favorite warlord, Oda Nobunaga, is curb-stomping Yoshimoto Imagawa, despite a big numbers disadvantage. And don't worry about those names or locations, it doesn't really matter, that's just for us nerds. Anyhow, Nobunaga, bad dude that he is, isn't bad enough to see a few seconds into the future, so he takes an arrow to the throat while gloating over his victory. Classic samurai karma shit. And everyone's like, oh no, Big Boss is dead. Incoming shocker. He's not actually dead. Dude's tougher than a $2 steak, if that steak was the product of demonic necromancy. Cut to a year later. Our hero, Samanosuke Akechi, looking like a budget Jean-Claude Van Damme with a ponytail, gets a whiny letter from his cousin, Princess Yuki. Help, servants are being eaten by monsters, our gardeners cut the bonsais too short, blah blah blah. So Samanosuke grabs his sidekick Keide, this hot ninja chick with the personality of a wet blanket, and they haul ass to Inabayama Castle to see what's going down. They arrive just in time to do the tried and true Scooby-Doo split before Samanosuke finds Princess Yuki getting yoinked by some three-eyed ninjas that look like Make-A-Wish kids from Chernobyl. Anyhow, he cuts them down without breaking a sweat, only for some pantless Yu-Gi-Oh monster to then pop up out of nowhere and bonk his ass back to the Shadow Realm. Or not. Plot twist, these glowing Oni spirits show up, shove a magic gauntlet on our boy's arm, and then resurrect him with some new soul-sucking powers that would put a cam girl to shame. So, now he's Super Samanosuke, master of the sword and suck, ready to absorb demon essences and show that crybaby Luigi how it's done. His first order of business? Hack through the rank and file to get to the castle grounds, fighting low-rent zombie peasants, and a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog OCs along the way. Every kill drops colored souls, green for health, blue for magic, red for upgrades, and you suck them up with your strong hand like a demonic Roomba so you can upgrade your swords and progress through the game. Unfortunately, when Samanosuke makes it to the front door of the castle, it turns out to be locked by some magic or a demonic cold sore or whatever the hell that is. You gotta search for a way around to find it, bust it open. What? A key hunt in a Resident Evil clone? No way. Well, sort of. The way it works is that the seals on the doors are broken by having the correct number of upgrade levels on the corresponding sword's secondary level track. Sounds like a lot, it's really not. First track is for the sword itself and makes it hit harder. The second one is to bypass those freaky little locks. So basically, 1 red booger, you need a level 2 Koin, 3 blue boogers, level 3 Shiden, and so on and so forth, with a final color, green, showing up later on. Back on track. Samanosuke climbs down a hole in the castle wall and finds a cave where the big red freak who gave him the Tom and Jerry treatment, Osric apparently, is hanging out. And after finding out this tubby bastard is a Reinhardt main, and a bad one at that, thank God, as well as getting dizzy on the fixed camera, well, our boy drops the dongless demon and gives him an Onimusha suck. Inside the big-ass hole made by the demon's fall, Samanosuke stumbles into a lab run by this creepy H.R. Geiger fanboy named Guildenstern. Yeah, like from Hamlet, I guess. But if Hamlet was a creepy Skeletor ripoff with demon tentacles. Anyway, Guildenstern spills the beans in a villain monologue. The Genma resurrected Oda Nobunaga to be their puppet king of the mortal realm, and they're gonna use Princess Yuki's pure blood for some satanic ritual to make him unstoppable, or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of retarded, honestly. Eventually, Gildan Stank pulls a Houdini and Samanosuke fights a hentai monster named, and I'm not kidding, Ronaldo. These guys split into a whole different dude if you don't use your magic or pin them down quick enough. It's pretty annoying, but it's still not as bad as some of the enemies later on. Either way, Samanosuke cuts this dude into calamari and takes the red glowing orb, Koin, to obtain his second sword. A flaming Yes Queen two-hander. Neat. Moving on, we head back to the castle to open the front door and fight probably the most bullshit enemy in this game. These floating anuses covered in skulls. They exist solely to suck up the orbs out of anything you kill and float just out of reach of your weapon. Seriously, fuck these guys. For real, on God, no cap, it ain't bussin' fam. But inside we go, and the inside is just as jacked up as the outside, replete with demons and doors in need of some topical ointment. Cutting our way through, Samanosuke encounters a peculiar soldier named Tokichiro. This guy is basically Nobunaga's slimy, monkey-faced hype man who's always trying to recruit Samanosuke like he's peddling a bad MLM scheme. Join us, bro. Eternal power. We've got gacha games and geisha, bro. But our boy Samanosuke is a true samurai. An honor-bound Volcel, unable to be tempted by the scantily clad 2D women and prostitutes. He tells that nerd to fuck right off and chases after Yumimaru, this annoying kid that Princess Yuki was babysitting. After a bit more cleaning house, and some casual soul farming to take his mind off all the Genshin FOMO, Samanosuke reunites with Kade, who you've probably forgotten exists by now. Cause I sure did. Well, she informs our hero of Yumimaru's tragic backstory, and theorizes on why the demons are after him. Something about how Yuki's gonna be sacrificed to bless Nobunaga's demon cup or something. Her sad tears make the blood extra potent, I guess. It don't matter. None of this matters. Long story short, they're interrupted by a sprung trap that kicks off what is undoubtedly the worst part of this game. To put it simply, there are 4 stages to this trap, and you have to switch back and forth between Kade and Samanosuke to solve puzzles. That is a very generous term for these mechanics. To escape before time runs out. Sounds like a Capcom classic, right? The catch is that on some parts of this here little gauntlet, a single error means an instant game over. And unless you're me and have played this game before, chances are you probably didn't have the foresight to save before being yoinked by a surprise cutscene into a trial and error torture chamber. So enjoy running back to do it all over again. Sliding puzzle at the end is pretty easy, at the very least. Anyhow, it's just a hop and a skip to the top of the castle from here. And that's where we run into that weirdo Tokichiro again. Some guys will do anything for a crumb, won't they? Once he weasels off, Samanosuke ascends to the roof to find a beefy demon knight named Marcellus has been waiting for him. This guy's about as graceful as a sumo wrestler in high heels, swinging wide and leaving himself open with every attack. It was definitely a dumb idea to trade a shirt for a shield if you ask me, but whatever. Well, Marcellus gives himself the Bowser treatment.
So long, Bowser!
We get a new orb and a weapon, while Samanosuke rescues Yumimaru, and after the brat stops whining, our boy leaves him with Kade so he can go dick around in the castle's basement to try and find Yuki and some demon plate for a strangely marked door. This turns out to be a big mistake for several reasons. Firstly, while Samanosuke is jacking around downstairs, up shows that freak Tokichiro again, who this time traps our samurai in a stinky old pit. Meanwhile, Kade gets jumped by a Samanosuke doppelganger, who gives her a surprise fisting before kidnapping Yumimaru. Cue the section of the game where you're forced to play as Katie. Thankfully, it's not very long or particularly difficult. And she does have some cool moves, one of which is even part of an achievement. But that all said, she's not exactly Samanosuke when it comes to dispatching demons. You don't even get the benefit of sucking up souls for upgrades, so honestly it's really best to just avoid combat if you can. Anyhow, Katie wakes up and goes on a magical backtracking journey through the castle and its outskirts. This is pretty much an extended puzzle section where you're out finding gold plates, gears, and other random crap. So Katie can finally rescue Yumamaro and Princess Yuki, who are locked away in a dungeon. But before she can pick the lock to their cell, Guildenstern shows up to steal the princess away. Again. Just disappears into the dark, like he's Batman or something. And then some invisible, snake-headed Pillar Man reject starts throwing frisbees at Katie in the concluding boss fight. Poor girl can't catch a break. We cut back to Samanosuke as he regains consciousness from taking a widow tumble. He is then immediately confronted by his doppelganger, who flashes him some really weird fuck-me eyes.
Hell no.
Before they battle to the death. It's one of those cliche fights where he does all your moves, blocks almost everything you throw at him, but somehow he forgot you too can use magic and sword techniques, so you roast him up and move on without much fuss. Samanosuke finds the second demon plate, climbs out of the smelly pit, and then opens that weird-looking magic door, only to be blindsided by one of those cutscenes that always seems to lure your parents into your room at the exact worst moment. You know the ones I'm talking about. Truly a classic. Don't say I didn't warn you.
She kinda bad though.
Well, that was pretty fucking weird. Killer Queen over here is called Hecuba, and she summons a portal to the demon world, kidnaps Yumemaru, again,
Really, nigga?
and then disappears behind another magically sealed door. But this one's bigger and has a force field, so you know it's serious business. Begin our backtracking to find the new MacGuffin to break the force field and enter the demon world. But first, a weird little guy called the Mothman invites us to do a challenge tower in a different part of the demon realm. Seems a little contrived, but whatever. This is an optional bit of side content that has you fighting through different levels of increasingly difficult enemies for souls and extra healing items. Making it to the last level will net you a metric ass ton of souls and a special item that unlocks the best sword in the game. It's worth the trouble. Just do it. That out of the way, Samanosuke heads to a different part of the castle courtyard to battle a group of Taurus demons and pick up a bunch of quest items, one of which nets him a fly swatter. Then we open a secret passage with a familiar looking sword to head outside of the castle grounds for a much needed change of scenery. And after battling through a bunch of mooks and running around the docks, our boy catches up with the bug lady. Before we can show her our new bug zapper, we switch back to Katie for one last segment. She'll pick up a key item for us, the Great Arrow, before linking back up with Samanosuke so we can finally have his boss battle. Which isn't much of a boss battle. Hecuba buzzes around out of reach and swarms you with minions while taking cheap shots. But if you've been upgrading your swords, their magic is more than enough to burst them down. And the fly swatter with burst bullets makes for quick cleanup. Bye bye, bug bitch. Afterwards, Katie passes out from exhaustion, and Samanosuke vows to end this once and for all. So we head to the gate to the demon world, crack open that bad boy with our great bow and arrow, and then head inside to rescue Princess Yuki and put down Burnward Squidward and his satanic cronies. But not before fighting Marcellus again. This time he has 2 phases, and 2 swords.
Wow.
But he's still kind of a bitch and goes down to some magical flailing. From there, it's a quick detour into a literal hole in the wall, and thanks to the secret item we got from finishing the Demon Tower challenges, now we can claim the best sword in the game, the Bishamon sword. It's ridiculously OP, and just what we need for what comes next. Entering the final room at the bottom of a stupidly long staircase, Samanosuke finds Yuki on an altar, and the sacrificial ceremony is starting. Fortinbras, the snake-headed demon god king thing, then barges in and a climactic fight ensues. We dodge lasers, hack at his eyes, and absorb souls mid-battle like a pro. Samanosuke wipes the floor with this Egyptian god card wannabe, but gets cucked in the final cutscene. Man, I hate when that happens. That is, until he turns into an off-brand Yoshimitsu and delivers the coup de grace to the Demon King. Sick. After that, the castle goes boom. Yuki and Yumemaru make it out, thankfully, but we're left to guess about the fate of our most honorable samurai. Until the after credits epilogue, where we see him eyeing the castle one last time from a nearby cliff, still in possession of the Oni gauntlet. What a cool dude. Oh, and Katie dies in an off-screen battle after searching for our boy for fucking years. Talk about a tough break. Somebody on the writing team must have really hated her ass. Anyhow, that's Onimusha Warlords. It's super sugoi. I love this game. And the series, even the bad ones, a lot. It's campy, it's goofy, but it's fun as hell, and truly one of the best classic Capcom franchises that, up until recently, has been neglected and overlooked. Here's hoping they deliver on the upcoming title. Either way, if you're into classic RE-style survival horror, I highly encourage you go play it yourself. It's often on sale over on Steam and well worth a few shekels. Try it for yourself, viewer-san, but be quick about it. I'm gonna have to schedule you for an early morning Sudoku, okay? But that's about all from me. Arigato, nerds.